All right. Well, let's kick it off. Alina, would you like to start? All right, so let's start actually potentially backwards, starting from literati and then working our way to Five Gyres.
Awesome, thanks, Allison. So Literati is a crowdsourced platform for collecting litter data. And we're here with these amazing organizations to help the city of Austin really learn about the trash that's in your streets. And I'm very excited for the opportunity to enable you all to be citizen science researchers. That is the license role that we'll be providing to all of you, and today's training will help you get to know a little bit more about that. All right, and I will pass it over to Allison.
All right, so next let's actually introduce Into the Sea.
All right, hi everybody. So Into the Sea is a service-based nonprofit. We focus on bringing awareness to plastic pollution in the ocean and our waterways. We are a Five Gyres ambassador, and we partnered with them with Denver and now Austin for the TrashBlitz program. So we're very excited to be a part of that. And we also have Into the Schools, where we dress up as mermaids and kind of work with kids and bring awareness to them as well, and hosting other local cleanups. I will pass it to Mel for the Inland Ocean Coalition.
Thanks, Madeline. Hi, everybody. My name is Mel. I'm the Community Engagement Manager for the Inland Ocean Coalition. So we are actually a nonprofit that's mainly headquartered in Boulder, Colorado, but we actually have 16 different chapters across the state. Across the country. One of our chapter leads is here tonight, April Tovar. She's actually our North Texas chapter lead. So we do have some representation in Texas already, but we really run off of the idea that you don't have to live near the ocean to protect it, and we're all connected to the ocean through our waterways. So as you guys are going around, doing TrashBlitz Austin, picking up trash, you're not just helping your city, but you're helping the ocean and the world as a whole by keeping trash out of the rivers, the lakes, the streams, and everything that leads to our ocean. And we really don't want you guys to just, do TrashBlitz Austin and figure out what the problem is and disappear. We want to keep you guys involved. And IOC has a really great opportunity. We host 3 times a year our Inland Ocean Ambassador Training. It's an online virtual training, used to be in person, but changed for the reason we all know why. But it's really great because it started to allow us to get people from all different states around the country involved. And so it lasts for 5 weeks. It's on Thursday nights from 5 to 7 Mountain Time, and you'll have to kind of adjust that for your time zone. But we actually have applications open right now. They close next Friday. I'll put the website in the chat, but you can learn more about it on inlandoceancoalition.org. We touch a lot on plastic pollution. We actually had Marcus from Five Gyres come and speak in a previous training, but we don't just do plastic pollution. We go into marine protected areas, offshore wind, ocean climate action. And then we really give you guys a lot of tools you can take back to your community, such as op-eds, letters to the editors, how to speak to just the general public about these topics, and really help build this inland movement of people who love the ocean, but don't necessarily get to see it every day and feel like you're doing a part to take care of it. So I'm really excited you guys are all here at TrashBlitz Austin. I already know it's going to be a huge success. And with that, I will pass it over to Allison.
All right, and Mel, yes, I need to apply and become an Inland Ocean Coalition ambassador if accepted, and I think everyone here today and everybody watching our training should also become Inland Ocean Coalition ambassadors, because I think many of us are not actually located in coastal areas. Spoiler alert, I actually am located in a coastal area and is Five Gyres, but I feel like most folks based in the US are not near coastal locations. So I very much treasure Inland Ocean Coalition because they do highlight the upstream kind of awareness and components of, water quality and how on the urban watershed cycle and how, plastic pollution, starts in stream, upstream, and goes downstream and out to the oceans. I have a particular fondness for stormwater management and water cycles, but that aside, let me talk a little bit about Five Gyres, and then I will jump right into what TrashBlitz is and try and stay as concise as possible. So Five Gyres is a 501c3 nonprofit and NGO leader in the global movement against plastic pollution with more than 10 years of expertise in scientific research and engagement on plastic pollution issues. Our mission is to empower action against the global health crisis of plastic pollution through science, education, and advocacy. Alina, can you kindly switch us to the next slide, please? To talk a little bit more about TrashBlitz. Awesome. So what is TrashBlitz? Well, first of all, at Five Gyres, we believe solutions aren't just for policymakers and science isn't just for the PhDs. We are all stakeholders in the health and future of our communities. Now, TrashBlitz is about providing a platform and a program, or in this case, kind of a project based in Austin, for us all to unite around taking charge of waste in our communities by gathering the data in new ways to identify problems and drive local solutions. Today, scientists and policymakers everywhere are understanding that plastic pollution is a symptom of how plastic moves through communities, on land, and through local waterways. Shout out urban stormwater cycle. The way products and packaging are made and the systems that capture water. Shout out stormwater. And this is the frontier of science, the UN, governments, and corporations. But what's ultimately missing here is the voice of the people and the voice of people like you and communities like yours to frame and direct solutions that serve everyone. The purpose of TrashBlitz is to easily catalog trash data as you're collecting it, measuring it by item type, quantity, and brand. And through Literati's amazing app, literally, like Literati's app is probably like one of the top of the line, like litter, like pollution cataloging apps that really exist out there. So I'm so excited that we all get a chance to use it as community researchers. And so through Literati's app, as we clean up, we're going to collect data. And together, we will develop a robust data set that can be used to further campaigns, strengthen local or state legislation, and foster more community through environmental stewardship. So that is specifically about our kind of TrashBlitz program. And yes, to highlight what Fawn's saying in the chat, Literati specializes in empowered cleanup data. So with that being said, let's switch to the next slide and I will pass the mic.
All right, so just a little bit about how to blitz. So the first thing you'll do is choose any date and time within the 3-week time frame that we have to collect the data. So you'll have your, a lot of people are out of town, so it gives you a good amount of time to choose which date makes the most sense for you. Then we have a drive-through supply pickup that will be on the first day of the event on May 22nd, which is this Saturday. I will give you a little bit more information about that shortly. And then what you'll do is first go to first we'll run through some Literati training materials and everything, which will be important to do before you get to your location. But Lena will talk about that in just a moment here. You'll want to make sure that you wear appropriate clothes and be ready to get dirty since you will be out picking up trash. Always good to have gloves, reusable gloves, and water with you as well. Trash bags, we are offering some reutilized horse feed bags, essentially, that Animal Farm Sanctuary has donated for us to use instead of using new plastic trash bags. So come out Saturday to get some of those if you'd like. And then you will need your smartphone as well to use the Literati app. We suggest working in pairs, one person picking up the trash while the other person logs it in the Literati app. There will be 3 segments at each site point that you choose. And so again, Alina will talk a little bit more about that as well. And each of those site points is expected to take 15 to 20 minutes at minimum, likely not more than 45 minutes, but it depends on the trash amount that you find when you're there. And then you will be submitting all of that data in the Literati app before you leave the location. We have 3 locations for dumpsters for you all to bring the trash if you would like. Those addresses are listed here. We also have them as points on the site map, the site locations map that we have as well. You can bring it to any of those locations. The city has approved those as drop-off locations for you. You're also welcome to bring it home if that's more convenient, and then celebrate because you helped to collect the data.
All right, and I believe this is me. So now is the Literati introduction. So we're really excited to be collaborating here with you all, and just to introduce you to what Literati is. Like, what is this weird new app? Well, it is the best app out there in terms of finding what it is that is out there and how it's impacting your environment. Seeing the map of all that litter is going to be a really exciting thing to look at the end of this research, and we hope that the reporting will be valuable and interesting to the city of Austin. The dashboard is really where things are unlocked in terms of data and what we're seeing in the world, but the app is the tool on the streets. So you'll be walked through today, and then also with the videos that you may have already reviewed, the different ways that you can track information and collect litter while also collecting valuable pieces of data. In total, we have to date collected over 10 million pieces of litter as a global community across 185 different countries, with more than 200,000 individuals contributing to that program. And this is all crowdsourced litter data that leads to really impactful research. Because we are a tech data company, we enable the data that's on the phone to connect to the information that you input. So as you're collecting a piece of litter, on the back end of our database, we are also collecting the information about where that piece of litter is and when it was collected, and that information paired with what you input as the specific item that you're tagging and the image, all of that combined becomes a really valuable collection of data points that then in aggregate tell a really unique and powerful story. Those stories within communities are what drive change. And there are a number of examples on our Stories of Impact page on Literati, and it's really interesting to look at what has come out of just a few individuals, groups of individuals coming together to create change in their communities. Really encourage you to check out Stories of Impact on our website, but I won't dive into all of these so that we can dive into our training. Hopefully y'all are ready. So here we go. With the citizen science research license, what you'll be able to do is more than just your everyday Literati user, because with the citizen science research, you also have the opportunity to review the segment and, based on our training, really work through the data collection in a standardized way. So we'll talk about how you'll do that and the ways that gets done. But to help me explain it a little bit better, we have a video that I'll share with you all that we can review and watch together. So I'll turn up my volume and get us going here.
Welcome to Literati. Simply download the app to get started. As a citizen science researcher going out into the field, you'll need a few things. A mask, a pair of gloves and hand sanitizer, a high visibility vest, a fully charged phone, and a power bank if you have one, a water bottle to stay hydrated, and maybe even a notebook and pen. When you're ready to get going, simply open the app and use your code to join the challenge. We'll present you with several locations where you can carry out the research. When you reach a location, you should select 3 research segments. Every segment is 100 meters long and 1 meter wide. All segments must be at least 50 meters apart. If there are obstacles in your segment, such as market stalls or construction, please select an alternate segment. When beginning your segment, follow the instructions in the app and take a photo from your start point of the segment in the direction of travel. This is called the horizon photo. Before you start, please review the safety questions and confirm that it's safe to carry out your research. You'll need to take photographs of all the litter larger than 1 centimeter that you find in the segment. We recommend taking photos that are about 50 centimeters away from the ground and not zoomed in. During your segment, you should also document both what we call bins. This includes dumpsters, recycling stations, and ashtrays, as well as accumulations of litter and waste that are occurring either naturally or have been dumped illegally. We call these hotspots. When you're finished with your segment, press stop. You can also add additional notes to provide context of the segment, such as high traffic area, lots of shops, or very clean. Finally, when you have a strong internet connection, you can upload the images by clicking Upload.
And that's it. So it's a really easy way to collect data in a standardized procedure and pair that with your actual litter collection. So I'll explain in more detail what all this means, and at the end we'll also have a little bit of time to ask questions. So in the city of Austin, during the TrashBlitz, we'll be collecting litter in 150 locations. You may have already signed up for a location, or you may want to sign up for a location as soon as possible because they are filling up quickly. As things change, be sure to update those locations if need be, and just be sure that you are letting the team here know that that's what's happening for you. What we're asking of you is to get to the specific location that you have decided you'll be walking, and then decide on 3 areas where you're going to investigate litter. So each location has 3 segments that you'll be investigating, and a segment is 100 meters. So 100 meters, because we are an international company, but about 130 steps, 328 feet, or about half a standard city block. And that's what we're asking. It's about 15 minutes that we estimate that it might take you, depending on where you're going, depending on the litter makeup of that particular area. So you've watched the video. We'll go through this training. At the end of all this, there will be a quiz. And at that point, we'll have all the information we need to move you forward into becoming a certified literati researcher. There is a little bit of time between when you sign up for the location and when we move you into the citizen science research mode. So please be patient, but be sure that when you're starting your TrashBlitz on the 22nd or anytime thereafter, that you are signing into the app with your email and the login provided to you, and making sure that you're in the citizen science researcher modes, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment. So this is how the app works in terms of your settings. Just going back here for a second. When you're ready to go, you'll sign in to your app and be connected to an opportunity to join with the Austin TrashBlitz code. And this is one of those first screens that you'll see. So just be sure to use the same email that you provided when you signed up for the location and the password that's provided to you as well. And the way to toggle in the app is to be sure to be on the profile page and toggle here over your name. That will be what happens when we register you and make sure that you are all ready to go. And these are all the screens that you'll see as you're entering the app. But to make this a little bit more interactive and make sure that you have all of the details, Vaughn will join me here and help walk through some of this in just a moment. So the final piece that you'll need to know is that we are assigning you those specific locations, and those now become tasks in your profile. So the steps on our side are: make sure you're signed up for a location, take that location information and pair it with your email, and then make sure that you are ready to be that citizen science researcher. So changing your profile information on our end to lift you up to that citizen science role. And that's when you'll be all set. So with that, I'll see if Fawn, are you ready to go?
I am ready to go. I think you have to stop sharing your screen so I can share mine. Sweet, and let me get everything loaded, ready to go. Cool. Okay, now can you see that? Does that work?
Looks great.
Okay, perfect. So the first thing you're going to see is this notification. So we're going to go through tomorrow. If we haven't had the opportunity to set this up in the app already, we'll do it by this weekend so that you have the citizen science researcher So you have the citizen science researcher license. So you'll get a notification like this just saying, hey, you have new permissions. You've been added to the Literati citizen science license for 5 dryers. So this is what you would do next. You would just open up the Literati app. So the app opens on the impact side. So you just navigate to the left and you see yourself again. If you need to toggle between roles, you have the different options right there, but I'm already logged in as a citizen scientist. If you want to join, if you haven't joined the challenge yet, but you need to, you just go to challenge up on the top. And then I am going to join the challenge with a code. So our code that we are using is TrashBlitz21. Join. Awesome. And you should get this screen. So you're good, you're participating. I'm just gonna hit the back arrow and then go back to my profile. And if you scroll down, you'll see challenges and tasks. So once you're a citizen science researcher, you're going to go into tasks, and I see the location that I have selected. So I'm doing motion stretch studio. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to say, okay, this looks good. That's the location I selected on the map. The status is to do. I haven't done it yet. If you want to add any comment on here, you can, but I'm just going to click Start Segment. And so I am doing inland, let's just say. And because I am indoors in my living room, I'm going to say city center residential. So I'm going to take a photo in the direction of where I am doing the cleanup, and we're getting AC installed. So naturally it looks kind of messy. So I'm just going to say confirm. And then for the locations, we are asking you to do like an intersection. So I'm going to say this is the intersection of my living room and kitchen. Very exciting. Okay, cool. So then it just kind of walks you through what you do on the app. So you're going to take a photo of every piece of litter within the segment area. And then take a photo of waste infrastructure. I'll show you what this is in the app once we go through it. And then any hotspots. So if there's like illegal dumping or just like a large section of a lot of litter, then take photos of that. So let's do that right now. So so you want to walk in a 100-meter straight line and then document, but don't pick up any hazardous waste. Okay, so we have safety questions before you're doing the cleanup. So you want to go through these and just check yes or no. So like, is the area free of motor vehicles? Is the noise at an acceptable level? Is it free from any trip or fall hazards? How is the weather? How is the lighting? Like, is it safe enough? Are there any wild animals maybe, that might make it an unsafe cleanup? Or like maybe unsafe people, you don't feel comfortable completing the cleanup, or any like road work activities. And then do you have your PPE for the cleanup, like gloves, bucket, hand sanitizer, all that stuff. So I'm going to say yes to everything. I'm good to go. I feel safe. Okay, and so then you would swipe between these different icons to say which piece of litter you are collecting. So I'm gonna go and find my first piece of litter, and you'll notice the timer at the top is automatically timing my cleanup and how far I've walked. So for mine, I'm gonna say, oh, what's this on the floor? It's a piece of gum. So I'm gonna take it's like gum wrapper. I'm gonna take a photo of that. That's a piece of litter. Here's another piece of litter, lovely packaging from Amazon. Then I'm gonna say, oh, there's a hot spot of litter I see over here. These 4 pieces all together. I'm gonna take a photo of that. And then you also wanna document any trash bins. So I'm gonna navigate to bins and say, here's my trash can in my little recycling area. And then good to go. So then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go down here to your photos, and you can tag the litter. So again, you can verify your photos. Those are in there. And then I'm going to stop this. And you can say that you have documented only or documented and picked up. It's up to you. So I'm going to say documented and picked up. And then again, trash can photo, confirm. If you want to make any notes about this, I'm just going to say testing. Okay, so it'll say, congratulations, you have completed this segment. Tap the bottom left. I'm going to tag the photos that I've done. So right here, everything's good. It's thinking. So when you go through and tag your photos, it doesn't have to be super specific for these ones. I'm just going to tag it with the brand and the photo. Oh, come on, spinning wheel. So you'll upload them into the Literati app. Maybe I should back out and then come back in. Alina, would that help, do you think?
Yeah, and it's just another way to illustrate that it is true that sometimes you'll be connected to Wi-Fi and it will throw things off, but your data is saved and it should be in the temporary gallery. So don't worry about that part of the puzzle. It is, if you go back to the gallery, that's where you should be able to find your photos in the profile page.
And then the only other thing I wanted to show you on this is that you're going to just switch from to do to done when your segment is done. And then you don't have to say anything else. Just click back on the back arrow. All my tasks are done. And I'm going to go up here to gallery. Where is it in segments, Alina?
So it should be in the temporary gallery if you go back to photos and click on the little camera icon.
Here we go. 4 photos. Perfect. Okay. Upload. So it's uploading everything. And then you go in and tag. So I'm going to add tags. Refresh. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to review tags. So this is plastic. It's not a glove. So I'm going to hit the X on that and then just say it's packing. Packaging. Add. Okay, reviewed all tags for that image and then go back. And then for this one, again, tags, not a drink carton. For brand, I'm going to say it's NeuroGum. So you get the idea. Add material is paper. And then just say I've reviewed all tags. And that's what you're going to do for all of your images. And then you'll get that notification saying that it's 100% reviewed. And then you're done. So I'll unshare my screen. And Alina, you can start presenting again.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that hopefully gives you a quick understanding of how to use the app, and we'll have this recording available for you in case you get stuck along the way. There are also helpful tips about how to navigate literati at help.literati.org. So if you're ever in a bind, that is a good place to look. But just talking a little bit more about your segment. So you have selected a location, and that location is mapped and connected to your profile. If it's not connected to your profile today, it's because we have not yet connected all the pieces for you. So please stay tuned. And once you arrive at your designated location, identify what things look like in that specific area, and then pick 300-meter segments. So if your location starts at the corner of South 2nd and South Center Street, decide where you might want to go by just quickly looking around the area, and then pick one segment, then the second segment, and the third segment. As Vaughn did in her example, be sure to note the segment name, so the cross street of South 2nd and South Center, and identify where you're at in your segment, and then blitz on, and that is your first location with 3 segments in each location. The way that TrashBlitz was designed, we worked together to review all areas of Austin, and then looked at various differentiating factors like commercial versus residential, high versus low income, and any kind of commercial corridors. So we made sure that there was a good variety of areas that we were going to present to you all as opportunities for research. And that way we're really capturing everywhere within the city of Austin where litter occurs. So just a couple of reminders in terms of researching. Be sure to conduct research in three different locations if you can, and 3 different segments within each location. So a total of 9 areas, 9 segments that you would be doing about, and that is kind of the basics of conducting research in a segment. Just follow the app instructions like Vaughn reviewed with us. And at the end of each segment, just be sure to click stop and then done within the app. And the review of uploading the images you saw. So sometimes it might take a little bit of time to get things uploaded, but don't worry. As long as you go back to that camera icon and see that number of images, you should be able to upload them from there. And once you have finished uploading the images, the next step will be to tag things that you found and note the object, the category, the material, and the brand that you're looking for, that you've found. We do want to make sure that you prioritize safety, so we highlighted that in the app as well for each segment, and please make sure that you feel safe wherever you are. If you don't, just by all means skip that particular location. This is the checklist that's in the app as well. If you mark no on any one of the segments, it'll prompt you with a tip of what to do, or advise you to move on. There are a few additional tips at the end of this deck. The deck will be made available to you so that you can review it at a later point, but a lot of it is just about taking pictures as clearly as you possibly can as you're going along, and then identifying the specific litter item, the bin, and any hotspots. If you come across a hotspot, which means that it's a huge accumulation of litter that you may not be able to collect all on your own, document it as a hotspot. And then just a couple of reminders of what to bring and things that you might need. And additional thoughts on how to plan your trip. So just be sure that you're abiding by any COVID guidelines that your city might have, and let us know if you encounter any issues. But with that, you should be good to go. So I am going to pass this on to Allison, I believe. Is that right?
Sure. So it looks like we are about to close out our training this evening. But before we do so, we just want to open the opportunity for folks to ask any questions. So there's only a few of us here, so feel welcome to unmute yourself and ask any questions. If you have any questions about the process or the agenda or anything like that.
I have a question about Saturday, what time we should show up to pick up the materials?
That's a great question. Madeline?
Sure. So for our drive-through supply pickup, that will be at Macbeth Recreation Center. It's close to Zilker Park. We have the address here for you as well. It will be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So you can come anytime during that time frame. We will be there. And so we will have those animal feed bags that have been donated from some farm sanctuaries here. So we can use those instead of trash bags, new trash bags. We have a couple sponsors as well. So we have Liquid Death canned water for you, some hand sanitizer from Plain Products, Sparkling Yerba Mate from Clean Cause, and then Black Lives Veggies are donating some plant seeds as well. So you're welcome to drive in the parking lot, and then you'll see us with our little station there, and we will hand you everything that you need.
Cool. And will you guys be sending us the link so that we can watch the video again?
Absolutely.
Recording. Perfect. Thanks.
So I have a question.
Absolutely.
Assuming you only do each of your chosen 3 locations, you're only doing that one location once. It's not like you repeat those places. You just do it once. You take your 3 segmented areas, and then that's the only time you go to that site.
Exactly. So you're looking at probably about 15 to maybe max 30 minutes per site for you to do your 3 segments. But we of course do encourage you, if that is a site that you frequent a lot, to, you know, even after our TrashBlitz event, use the Literati app to continue monitoring what kind of data, because as the what's really kind of fun and cool about this is that even though our TrashBlitz project is only happening once, you will have this researcher license with Literati after you've been qualified for a 12-month period. So you can continue to go back and actually monitor that particular site. And what I personally love about Literati is that they have and I think, as Alina kind of explained, like there's 2 different versions of the app. Like you will be getting the community like citizen science researcher version of the app because you go through the quiz, you've done the qualifications, but the free version of the app that anyone can just download and use is basically going around and like tagging trash and doing your trash cleanups. And so what is so cool about them is they are like aggregating this like global set of like trash and like plastic pollution and like litter data per every city. So what's so cool is that using the app, you can continually act as a community steward and monitor, you know, like the trash in your area and identify different hotspots and connect it with the local municipality. Like there's so many bells and whistles with this. I could just go on. But yeah, it's pretty neat. So, and if that's something you're interested with, Carol, we can totally connect you with Alina and Fawn one-on-one and have like offline conversations about how you can continue to like monitor particular sites if that's
perfect. I love that idea. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right. Do we have any more questions? All right. Well, so I think that being said, do we want to introduce the final quiz, Alina?
Absolutely. This is the last bit of our presentation here. Just wanted to make sure that the information about TrashBlitz Austin was all visible to you all. So please be sure to hashtag TrashBlitz Austin and Literati. We're excited for this partnership and what's to come. And the contact information is here as well. And you'll have this as a leave behind. But now quiz time. So I'll put the quiz into the chat here, and please just take a couple minutes to open the quiz link and begin. We'll stick around for a couple minutes, but the idea is that you can just take this on your own, and we'll get the responses back. That questions are designed so that, having watched the video and gone through the training, you have all the knowledge. And if you answer something incorrectly, you'll also have an opportunity to see why. So take a chance to check out your score and see the right answers in case you got anything wrong. With that, I think we are all set for this weekend.
Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for attending our training today. And thank you again for anyone who is currently watching this training, as we are recording it live, but we will, obviously have this recording for archival purposes and for everyone who is going to be completing TrashBlitz over the next 3 weeks. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. And I'm going to stop the recording now.